Hi, I'm Vivek, and I'm an atheist because I value evidence.
Pilate washed his hands. Last week, the Infidel reported on a burgeoning schism within the Anglican Church, with liberal Episcopalians in the U.S. on one side of the divide and conservative African Anglicans on the other. What we did not report on at the time was the English Anglican Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, the titular head of the Anglican Communion, who finds himself planted firmly in the middle. The issue at play concerns differences of opinion over how the Church should approach LGBT issues. As we reported last week, a summit of Anglican leaders elected to sanction the U.S. Episcopalian Church for unilateral decisions made concerning the performance of same-sex marriage. Following the summit, Welby met with dozens of angry gay rights activists who had gathered at Canterbury Cathedral to air their grievances. Welby, who still has responsibility of placating both sides of the schism, issued a statement reading in part, "It is a constant source of deep sadness that people are persecuted for their sexuality. I want to take this opportunity to personally say how sorry I am for the hurt and pain in the past and present that the Church has caused and the love that we at times completely failed to show, and still do in many parts of the world, including in this country." Alberta, Alberta, where have you been so long? Last October, the Infidel reported on concerns that the government of Alberta, Canada might dissolve the Catholic school board in their province over disorder and lack of willingness by some trustees to follow a state-mandated guideline as to the treatment of LGBT students. That discord continued in the new year, with several of Alberta's bishops weighing in on the issue, including Alberta's Archbishop Richard Smith. In a blog post, Bishop Fred Henry wrote, "This approach and directive smack of the madness of relativism and the forceful imposition of a particular narrow-minded anti-Catholic ideology." This sparked several of the Catholic Board's trustees into action, and they forwarded a letter written by Bishop Henry to the parents of their students without the consent of Marilyn Bergstra, the board's chair. Bergstra is on record stating that if she had been consulted, she would have advised against the move to send out the information for a variety of reasons. Alberta school boards have until March 31st to draft policies which are compliant with the directives. David Egan, the education minister for the province, has said, "We need to know the procedures for making decisions are clear." He also says he has been reflecting on the option of dissolving the Catholic board if it comes to that. Op-ed, opposite of education. In an apparent effort to remain relevant to the new conservative mainstream in the age of Ted Cruz and Donald Trump, the Wall Street Journal, that right-wing standard-bearer of the media, ceded prime op-ed real estate to a non-scientist and well-known Christian apologist, Eric Metaxas, who posited that science increasingly makes the case for God. The article, which appeared on Christmas Day, beat the same dead horse tropes that have been making the rounds for years. The conditions of life are too precisely meant to be happenstance, science has no idea how life originated, etc. The article was met with several rebuttals, including one by a rabbi writing for the Huffington Post, and a letter to the journal's editors penned by theoretical physicist and cosmologist Lawrence Krauss. Wrote Krauss, "Religious arguments for the existence of God thinly veiled as scientific arguments do a disservice to both science and religion, and by allowing the Christian apologist to masquerade as a scientist, WSJ has done a disservice to its readers."